Sometimes we don't realize how much one person can have such an impact on so many lives until it's too late and they pass away and we have to read about it in a newspaper. Hello, I'm Mallory Sanders, and today I'm going to be sharing the wonderful works of my great-uncle, Theodore William Keaton. He was such a tremendous inspiration that I've reevaluated myself to see how I can follow in his footsteps. He built such a great relationship through four main roles: being a man of God, a school teacher, a historian, and an excellent storyteller. How many of you have had that one awesome teacher that you're never going to forget, or that one phenomenal role model that just went above and beyond to do everything for you? Well, that person for me and many other people was my Uncle Ted. First, I'm going to tell you a little bit about his growing up and where he was raised. He grew up in Key West in a small house on Pekin Lane. He was the oldest of 5 children. He was always the caretaker and the responsible one. He looked over everybody. I interviewed my pawpaw, Dennis Key, and I asked him, what was your favorite memory as a child with Uncle Ted? And he says, getting to snorkel with my brother and enjoy the ocean. And one thing that's really cool is they actually got to do that about 5 years ago as adults, and in Hawaii they got to go and share that together. They all shared so many different crazy adventures in Key West, and to me this seems kind of like a vacation, but to them it was just daily living. Ted always enjoyed being in church, and even from a young age. He was so involved that at Old Stone Methodist Church, they ended up paying for his first 2 years at college, so he moved to Georgia and went to Andrew College. One unique thing is he was actually one of the first 4 boys to ever attend the original all-girls school. After completing his 2 years, Ted traveled back to Key West, and the church actually granted the next 2 years at LaGrange. And then later on, he finished his master's at West Georgia. Clayton News couldn't have said it better. He was from Key West, but once he set foot on Georgia soil, he was a Georgia boy. Ted always aspired to be a preacher. Always growing up, he wanted to be a minister, but God told him to change his plans. He decided that by becoming a school teacher, he could touch many more lives in the way that he wanted to. So he spent 33 years teaching middle school in Clayton County, and he actually won Teacher of the Year twice and is in the Georgia Teacher Hall of Fame. Later, Ted taught 9 years at the Woodward Academy, and after his retirement, he decided to substitute and host many events. Along the way of teaching, one thing that made my Uncle Ted and my Aunt Judy really unique is they were always helping people, and one thing they did was actually take a child and help raise them. And they have him quoted in the AJC, and his name is Reverend Drake, and he states, "He and his wife took me in at a turning point in my life when I was 19 and treated me as one of their own children. Thanks to his patience and guidance, he is a huge reason why I became a Methodist minister. I suppose he led thousands to the Lord." Not only did Ted have such a passion for teaching and just caring for others, he also had one for history. Ted was often referred to as a docent, which is a college university lecturer, but actually he's so much more. This is just an understatement. An article of Clayton County News states a few roles and organizations that he actually helped create at Stately Oaks, and it's Father Christmas, Creek Indian Village, and he helped set up the annual Native American and African American celebrations. Ted always spread history to tons of children, like strangers, anyone that was willing to listen. But looking back, we were actually the lucky ones. His family, growing up, all the children got to hear so many seasonal tales, such as the Purple Pumpkin or the Little People, and we heard tall tales and legends of all sorts. Uncle Ted was so good about always using his gift and never missing an opportunity. He wanted to find out about your life and how he could help you, whether it was just loving you. I wish more than anything I could have known sooner all the magnificent things my uncle did. And I would just love to tell him that how much of a role model he is to me and how much he's inspired me to stay on track with all my goals. As a symbol of his remembrance, Ted Key actually had the Atlanta Journal-Constitution post his guest book online, where over 150 people signed it. And one entry that caught my eye from a previous student was, "He taught me so much more than a textbook could ever hold. He taught me life lessons, and he taught those lessons in a kind, gentle manner. Lessons that will not only live with me my entire life, but with my son as I have taught him. Thank you, Mr. Key, for enriching my life." Theodore William Key fulfilled the roles of a favorite teacher, memorable historian, captivating storyteller, and a glorious man of fellowship. But I'm lucky enough to have him as my favorite uncle. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a blessed day.